Bop, 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 bop. I don't have a bit.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have a bit for this episode, sorry.
Okay. Why is that?
I'm too sleepy.
Every time you tell me that you're too sleepy, it's like a fucking punch in the gut to me.
It's a slap in the face,
It's a slap in the face. It's a punch in the gut. It's like a swirly in the toilet.
Ooh, I need a nap. It's 6:26 p.m.
How dare you?
And it's dark, and it made me sleepy that it got dark.
It's 2:30 in the morning here.
Mm-hmm. I got a little bit. I woke up at 2:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Because I stayed up a little too late playing Red Dead and trying this new oatmeal cookie.
Yeah, you stayed up too late trying to catch what you described as a small horse.
Don't actually tell them about my Red Dead escapades, okay? I'm really embarrassed that I told you that story first thing in the morning. You were like, how was your night? I was like, well, there was this horse in Red Dead.
It was slightly smaller than the others, and I wanted it.
The first thing I told you. How was your day? And I worked on art. I hung out with a friend. I did all that stuff. The first thing I told you was, "Oh, you're not gonna believe it." There was so I'm on chapter 3 now. We're in Rhodes County. We have a new settlement.
God. Yeah.
Fuck. Do not call me out like this.
Yeah, really, nothing to wake me up from a nap and remind me that I'm dating a gamer quite like that. You wake me up and you're like, good morning, I caught a horse.
Yeah, not to brag, but I almost caught this. It's like a virtual horse.
It's a bunch of pixels.
It's a cluster of pixels.
You didn't catch shit.
That's like...
you can catch these hands when I come over there. That's what you'll be catching.
To say something is like a cluster of pixels is like the parallel to saying that something is just like a cluster of cells when we're talking about... I mean, fuck it. Let's talk about abortion.
You know what? I'm in the mood for a fucking debate.
Yeah. So I'll be playing devil's advocate on this one.
Oh my god, the worst thing.
And I'm going to be really mean about it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really going to bring up some stuff.
Yeah. Welcome to All Space in Between. My name's Mitch.
My name is Billy Blossom. I'm raring to go at 2 a.m. Let's get into some emails.
I really am sleepy at 6:30, waking up super late. My problem was that I had too much mac and cheese.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It sat warm in my belly, and now I could use a power nap.
Too comforting is the issue.
In fact, you're going to kill me for saying this. I kind of do want to take one.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Don't
so
do
I'm
this
going
to
to
me.
do that.
No.
It's going to be no more than an hour and a half.
You're like, it will only be like 4 a.m.
Just to wake myself up, you know?
Yeah, you're like,
'cause I feel
like...
What were you going to say?
You don't have anything important going on in the morning, do you? You don't have to pack for a trip or anything?
You don't have to go somewhere. Oh, that's cool.
No.
Yeah, you're not going to Ireland or anything.
No.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, okay, cool. Because I need, just 1 hour and a half and I will be on it. I feel like I'm not on right now.
A quick 90 mins.
It's for the listeners, really. If they want me to jack in, I need an hour and 45 minutes.
It's an hour and 45 now?
Well, yeah, if we're taking...
No.
Well, I have to lay there for... Well, yeah, I'm just going to get up from the nap and start podcasting. I have to stretch, and I'm going to try and play a little bit of Red Dead in between.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so close to hanging on the call.
They don't know the end of the story, but I actually didn't end up catching the horse. It's all I'm thinking about currently.
They don't care.
So I was in Rhodes County, right?
Oh
I'm on the
God.
shore side. I see a cluster of horses.
Fuck.
They really are just a cluster of pixels, and I fell in love just as hard.
Yeah.
I'm pro-life now.
Oh my God.
The horse changed me.
I saw something in its eye.
This is an advice podcast, an email ready podcast, as I like to call it, where we read your very own emails on mine very own podcast.
Oh, your very own, is it now?
Yeah. Oh, no,
That's
it's fine. No,
Yeah,
you can
all right.
mix it. No, how about this? You'll mix this episode, and we'll see how fucking concise, because it has to be up in just like 4 hours. So yeah, you'll mix this episode. And you'll do all the editing, and you'll get it up on Libsyn, and then you'll get the YouTube video up, and then you'll do all that stuff. And I'll just take a little trip to Ireland to see your mom.
She'd love that.
I would love that.
She'd be stoked if you turned up instead of me.
As a surprise. Surprise,
Yeah.
it's me. Everyone's cheering.
She's like, oh, finally, I've got someone to test out my new gluten-free recipes on.
Yeah, it's me. That'd be neat.
All right. Do you want to get to the first question?
Yeah. Again, this is a email reading podcast where we read your emails and try to give some advice. We have 3 questions for this show, so we should jump right into it. Let me switch this over to. It's also worth mentioning. I almost said this before. We tried recording a few times. I'm like, hey, let's try that again. Let's try that again. On the 3rd attempt, right at the beginning, I thought, I have to pee. And it hasn't gone away. I was hoping that my body would absorb the piss.
Yeah, it would just kind of go back into your bloodstream.
Yeah,
Sometimes that happens.
I don't pee for so long, I start sweating it out.
Just really reeking of piss still.
It smells like I've pissed all my clothes evenly, you know? Like not even just a warm growing patch on my crotch, but just I'm just sweating it out, and as the wind hits me, it just carries it through the room.
The whole thing's just been misted in it.
Keep that in mind, though. I do have to pee.
Okay.
So just so everybody knows, the sacrifices that I make for the show,
Yeah.
I am not going to pause it.
All right.
And I'm not going to pee, and I'm going to see if I can make, let's see how far this is like a 45 to 1 hour long podcast. I'm hoping we're about 38 minutes in at least, because I really have to fucking go. Oh, fuck.
Where are we?
We're like 6 or 7 minutes in. God
Oh,
damn it.
bad news for you.
Okay. We're just going to rush through the episode then.
It'll be a fun game. We'll see like how tense and high pitched your voice gets like throughout the episode.
We get at the 30-minute mark, and I just pee myself on the air. Or on the podcast.
Audibly.
And they're like, why did you keep it in the show? Like, you're the one editing it. Oh, no. Oh, fuck.
Jesus.
And there's you could like hear me changing out of my wet clothes.
Just rattling around.
Just sloshing. Oh, shit. God damn it. Why didn't you edit it? You're the editing guy.
You're the guy who's doing it. You're like, I guess I thought it would be funny.
I thought it'd be funny. I knew it'd be worth it. And I hoped it'd be hot.
My order of priorities.
2 out of 3. Can't win them all. The first email is sent to us a little while ago. We're getting into our back catalog. People, keep sending in emails, please.
Please do.
Send us in emails. The email is allthespaceInbetween@gmail.com. If you have a pickle that you would like us to answer, much like this one here. This one is called In a Bit of a Pickle, Please Help, lol. And it goes, this one is definitely a doozy pickle, but hopefully either of you guys can offer some wisdom on disobeying your parents as an adult. I'm a 20-year-old sophomore in college living at my parents' house while I go to school. I live in a state that's very much against drugs, but I've been a big old pothead since I was 16. Never been caught by the popo. I've always been super safe. But a few days ago, I got caught by my dad puffing away in the restroom after he opened the bathroom door because he heard the fan on, and it basically reeked like jazz cabbage. He then confronted me in my room, and now both my parents are super pissed at me for consuming the devil's lettuce, even though I enjoy what I do very much. I don't think it's such a bad thing if I'm doing it safely at home. I go to uni full time. I have fantastic grades. I'm in 3 different clubs. I volunteer on weekends for nonprofits, and I have a small part-time job with my dad. Although I recently also applied to a new, better-paying job to prepare for the winter break. So guys, I'm torn between doing something I love, which helps with my anxiety very much and helps me with my stress from existence, or do I gotta do what my parents think I should do even though I'm a grown-ass man, lol. What the hell should I do? Please help, a very high listener. P.S. I love what you both do. Thank you for taking the time to read this super long email, and much respect to the both of y'all if you choose to read this email on the show. Also, I would love an automated reply. Let's see if we have any. We do not.
We don't.
We don't get any.
No. I would like to point out that I think their sign-off is spelt like Avery High Listener.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's spelled like a name.
Yes.
Avery,
so that's a
hi
joke
listener.
for everyone.
Yeah. Sorry I didn't illustrate that joke. This person is actually, they did make a funny and I glossed right over it. I'm really excited to get to this email because I think that there's a lot of really funny points in the email. Specifically, you and I love where they point out like they
like doing
they
it.
want me to stop smoking weed, even though I enjoy doing it very much. It's like they know that.
Yeah, they're like, my parents are pissed, but like what they don't get is that like I like doing it.
Mom,
so...
listen, I get you're mad, but you're not seeing the big picture here. I like getting high.
It's good to me.
It feels good on my body and brain when I'm stoned, mother and father. So
But I don't think they think you're doing it like to punish yourself.
Right. They don't think that you're doing it or it's just weed. They don't think you're getting like peer pressured into it. You know, you've been smoking since you were 16. You're 20 now. And they're I really love that tone of just saying like, and now both my parents are super pissed at me for consuming the devil's lettuce, even though I enjoy what I do very much. Like, despite me enjoying it, they're still mad.
Even though I've told them that I enjoy it, so like,
No,
what the fuck gives?
You don't get it, Mom. So I'm torn between doing something that I love, which is funny.
A passion.
Yeah. I do like that it helps with their anxiety.
That's good for them.
That is good. And I also don't think that smoking weed is bad. But the thing I say about it is going to make me...
I will be telling the police.
Yeah, but I do have your email and your full name. And yeah, it says here that you are in a state that, is very much against it. So yeah, you will be doing at least a little bit of time for this. Yeah, I've already contacted your parents about it and I'm kind of on their side.
Yeah.
No, my answer is going to make me seem a little bit old, and that is that you're only 20 and that is not a grown-ass man.
That would be my answer too.
and I'm not saying like that's too young to smoke weed or anything. I was like smoking weed as a teenager and I don't anymore. I don't do anything anymore. I'm a very lame person now. I don't drink. I don't even smoke cigarettes anymore. I don't do anything like that anymore.
No.
But I'm not coming from
He gets his kicks from occasionally having a little yogurt.
Yeah. I'll have a kombucha and then try and catch that horse again. That's my night.
That's my high.
But I'm not even coming from a place of being like anti-smoking weed because I really don't care.
Yeah.
But I am coming from a place that's saying that you're only 20 years old and you're living under your parents' roof. And if it's that's just kind of that's the law of the land, right? Like that's sort of if they're like, yeah, we don't like this for any reason. I think lots of parents are like, yeah, we don't like weed. Like tons of them. That's not like a unique thing. And it doesn't make your parents bad.
No.
By any means. Which I know is not what they're implying. But I think it's a very, very normal situation. And at 20, sometimes you just have to be like, well, I am living with mom and dad, and I just got to not smoke in their house, you know?
Yeah, you do kind of got to play by their rules a little bit. Like, even, you know, even just like not doing it in their house would be like, you know, because you don't just sneak off like every other 20-year-old does.
Totally.
Just go for a walk.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not asking you to stop smoking weed. I know you're an addict.
Yeah.
What did you describe it as?
Obvious. That's a given.
Big old pothead.
Oh yeah.
Since 16, it's a tragedy, really.
It's what's the word for like the medical word for going on for a long time?
Right. I guess the word is just
chronic. I guess is the word.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's nasty.
Oh.
Yeah, it's disgusting to see, to read, and to imagine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's fair and judgment free.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I think our advice has just got to be like, sorry, you live there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was when I was living at my dad's house, he was never anti me smoking weed, so that was never an issue. But he did hate me smoking cigarettes. Absolutely despised it. Like he didn't fucking like that at all. So I would have to like sneak off and do that, and did get caught a few times for sure. I got caught. So my question for you is: have you ever been caught like this, doing a bad younger person drug thing in the presence of a parent, or not even just a drug thing, just a thing in particular in front of your parents, and they're just like, "Hey, no, 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 I hate this, no."
I never got caught smoking, but I did get caught. Like, I didn't ever get caught like in the act of it, you know. But I did get caught like stealing my mom's cigarettes. So, and then it's like, well, what are we stealing these for, a friend or fucking what?
Yeah, you should have just broke down and cried and was just like, "Mom, I just don't like you smoking. Anything to get you to stop, mother."
I just try to make you think that you smoke them yourself. I'm gaslighting you, really, but it's for your own good, which I
Really?
know makes me sound like a worse kind of abuser, but fuck.
But I guess I just care about you so much. I figured if I stole a measly 4 cigarettes, you thought that, oh my God, am I going through the pack this quickly? I need to slow down.
I need to stop. I'm in trouble, but no.
I'm
you
sorry,
caught
Mom.
me.
I'm glad we had this talk. Ice cream. Get her to buy you ice cream for catching you stealing.
Telling you around that hard. I get a treat now.
You get rewarded. The whole drive there, you're kind of uptight because you're craving a cigarette you never got. You kind of lash out at her a few times.
Yeah, I'm really fucking tapping my fingers like...
You're jonesing for one.
White knuckling the whole ride there.
You're really addicted at 17.
But no, I never got caught outright. I don't think I was ever smoking enough to get like enough quantity to get caught outright though. You know,
not many people know this about me. I smoked a lot of cigarettes when I was younger, and started smoking at a very young age. I was like 12. Yeah, and
that's illegal.
Right, I shouldn't have been that young. I wasn't doing it like a lot at 12. I started smoking at 12, but it was like, you know, one of those things where you're like, this is cool, and you're like, aren't even really inhaling them, you know?
God, that's my sister's age. I hate this.
Yeah, I know. And then I wonder why I'm not very tall at this age.
Yeah, I wonder why I stopped growing out.
My mother gave
12.
me coffee in the 7th grade, and it's also happened to have been when I started smoking cigarettes. So I had no choice.
He really stunted himself.
Yeah, I kind of wrote my own future there. So now I'm a measly, like it's embarrassing, and I hardly ever say it on the show. But yeah, I'm a measly 6'1".
6'1.5".
Yeah. Well, it's not. I mean, if we're counting halves, then yeah, I'm like 6'2". But we can call it 6'1", and I'm not. It's like part of my CBT is to say it out loud. I'm only 6'1". Yeah.
It's very big of you.
Thank you. I'm very big. Yeah, actually. Wait, what did you say?
Very big of you.
That was very big of I'm big when I say that.
Like I'm big and tall.
Yeah.
Like I'm big and strong.
Love hearing that.
Yeah.
Never heard that before.
But you got caught. Did you get in trouble?
Yeah, my dad was horrible at punishing me though.
Oh.
He was way too like soft about the whole thing. He would be like only when I was doing stuff like really, really bad, like they would call him and be like, Mitch hasn't been to school in a month and a half. And he's like, what? Why? And they're like, yeah, and he's missed so much school at this point that he's like suspended. And
he actually just doesn't go here anymore. He's like not on the books. So.
He's suspended, and yeah, just letting you know, don't send him to school like only like once or twice a week, please. And so yeah, we're pretty sure he calls me and he's like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm like at a park or something with a girl. You know, like we're smoking cigarettes and
smoking cigarettes with some girl you met on MySpace.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. And I was like, I'm in class, and he's like, no, you're not. Where are you? And I'm at the park, and he was just like, I'm coming to get you now. I was like, Dad, it's really no big deal. And he's like, you're suspended for a week. Of course, it's a big deal. And I was like, oh. And he brings me back, and I spent that whole week like working for him and doing stuff like that. And then at the end of that, my punishment was that he made me get a haircut. I had long hair then. And
yeah.
He made me get a haircut, which actually made me immensely hotter. Because as soon as he did that, I got like a friend to like cut my hair after that point and just made it like super emo, and it was neat.
Yeah,
But
so it's like actually a gift.
even later on in life, he was like, I did that? And I was like, yep, you made me get a haircut. And he was like, that's a shitty punishment. I shouldn't have done that. That's such a whack punishment. That's seriously making a kid like cut his hair just to be what? More straight with society. But I hate that. I hate that I did that. So he was such a pushover even then. Like, even when he had to put his foot down, because I was literally not going to school at all, he was like, I'm sorry. So
I was like, I shouldn't have done that. Like, well, you had to do something.
Someone had to do something. Someone had to stop me.
Someone had to intervene.
Someone had to get my hair cut. It was long. What the fuck was I doing with long hair? The fuck?
In 2003?
2004, actually.
Okay, that was a close guess.
Yeah, you were pretty good at that.
Thanks.
But yeah, he did catch me smoking. He really didn't like that.
No.
He really didn't like that at all. But only because like he smoked when he was younger, and then quit in his like 40s and stuff. So he was just like, no, you don't want to fucking do this. I have this funny story actually where he was driving me downtown as a teenager, and he used to pay me like way too much money for doing just like normal chores I should have been doing anyway. So I'd be like, Dad, I want money for the weekend, and he would give me like $20 to like clean the kitchen for like not very long, you know?
Yeah, I remember you telling me this, and I was like, God, I'd have to do the whole house for 20 quid.
For $20, yeah. It was way too much money. And that would just like be my money for the weekend, you know? And he didn't even have money growing up, you know? Like we grew up like with not very much. He was really, really cool to me. But I get out of the car, I go, oh, okay, bye, Dad, I'll see you on Monday, thanks, blah, blah, blah. He gave me the money, but then when he gets a few blocks away and he notices a 20 in the car seat in the back, and he thinks I dropped it. I didn't actually drop it. It was just something else. It was just like another $20 bill or something like that. And he goes, oh shit. And I wasn't picking up my phone, so he goes up to where I was. It was like at a coffee shop like 20 minutes later to go and find me. And I'm already hanging out with my friends, and I'm smoking a cigarette in front of everybody, and I'm whatever. And instead of confronting me, he just sits and watches me for like 10 minutes as I'm like smoking the whole cigarette. And as soon as I see him and our eyes meet, I like throw it on the ground, being like, oh God, oh shit. I'm like no longer.
Put this in my hand.
I'm no longer cool anymore. I mean, it's just like, motherfucker, oh my God. I throw it on the ground, almost start a fire.
Oh my God.
And I walk up to him, and I'm like, hi. Hi, Dad, hi, what's up? And he was just like, what were you doing? And I was just hanging out with my friends. I'm hanging out with why? And he was like, did I give you the $20? I was like, yeah, I have it right here in my wallet. And he goes, oh, okay. I thought that you dropped it. That's why I'm up here. And I was just like, oh, no, I have it. And he just goes, have a good weekend. We're going to talk about this later. And then he just left, and I thought about it all fucking weekend.
You're like, great. It's impossible for me to have a good weekend.
Just looming.
Looming so badly. God, that makes me like, makes my insides shrivel up.
It was so bad.
Watching you smoke an entire cigarette.
And we did talk about it later. He lectured me about it the whole car ride home and yelled at me for it.
Rightly so.
Oh, smoking cigs is dumb.
Yeah, it's true.
So, but at 20, okay, at 20 years old, sophomore in college, do you think this person really, like, they're uni full-time, they have fantastic grades, they're in 3 different clubs, they volunteer on the weekends for nonprofits? That's the point where I'm like, really? Like, I've never done any of this. I was never...
God, I'm an underachiever.
I wasn't even in high school full-time, and I had to go. Fantastic grades? No. 3 different clubs? No. Volunteered on the weekends for nonprofits?
I was like, definitely not.
Look, do I think you need to... Do I think you deserve to smoke a little bit of weed to reduce the stress of existence and to help with your anxiety? Yes. I do think that you deserve that.
Yeah.
You're living in your parents' house.
Yeah. It's like, do we think that you can do that? Yes.
Totally.
Do we think your parents have to agree with that? No. They're parents, they're going to think what they think.
They're, most parents are gonna be like, hey, you know what? We don't like you smoking weed. You're only 20.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Especially, I come from, the UK. It's super illegal over here. So it's like, that's everyone's parents' reaction.
Right.
Yeah. It's a drug. Like, it's a no over here. So I think that's a normal reaction. But, yeah. You just, like I said, just gotta go for a walk.
Gotta go for that little weed walk.
Yeah.
And don't show your parents this episode that we're just like, hey, just hide it from them. Just actually be a little fucker and do it like not in the bathroom, you dumbo. Go on a walk.
Yeah. Open a window. The fan? Come on, the fan doesn't work.
You have a car? Go on a little drive.
Wise up.
Do it better.
Do better at lying.
A fan. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
All right. Are we doing the next question?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Cool. This one is called Dummy Art Pickle.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, hey, Billy Bloodbath and fellow Amy's Lentil Soup scholar Mitch.
Love it. I had it a few days ago.
Using an all email. Hope you enjoy the address. This is a very cool address, to be fair. I don't think I can read it out, but it's very cool. Before I start this email, I just want to say thank you. Mitch, I've been following Flat Sound since the Tumblr days. Your art has had a genuine positive impact on my life, and I'm forever glad to have found it. Every day, I feel inspired to write and make art, and I love it. I hope you keep going and do whatever makes you happy. Billy, your photography is honestly such an inspiration. It is great seeing queer women being badass, and that's not to mention your classic British humour. Thank you. I've noticed you both have been doing a lot more art questions, so I thought I'd chime in with my own dumb little pickle. For a few years now, I've been learning to do music. I taught myself to sing and play guitar, to use music software, and to mix and master. All the important things. I think I've finally reached a point in my life where I feel ready to release music publicly for the world to see. There's only one small problem. I don't have an artist name. I've previously made artist names, but they've all had the same problem. I always regret them a few months after I make them. I've made some regrettable ones. See Teenage Dumpster. I was a bit edgy. I need to come up with a name that I can happily identify with for a long period of time, but as the internet is still a thing, all the good ones are taken. Do either of you have any advice for naming projects? Flat Sound and Wishing are honestly gorgeous names, and Billy Bloodbath is pure poetry. Any advice is very much appreciated. With love, this person's name. So, would just like to point out that I don't know how you found out my old MySpace screen name. I assume you were looking through my tweets, but we don't bring it up.
That's the past. That's the old me.
That was the old me. I'm not Billy Bloodbath anymore. I'm Billy Blossom. Okay.
But like, that's your actual name. That's not something you came up with. Some of your parents came up with. They named you Billy Blossom. And I'd like to point that out. Like, that's not just an internet thing that you do. Billy Blossom is your first name.
Yep. It's good. We should get my parents to answer this question. They're clearly great at naming
Yeah, really.
things.
They were like, well, it was the 90s and we were on ketamine.
Excuse you. Don't say that about my parents.
Excuse you. Only one of them was.
But no, I actually like, well, not to go on tangent, I like my name a lot though. It's a good mix of masculine and feminine
I love
energies,
it.
I think.
I love it a lot. It does encompass you very, very well. But yeah, this is we're talking about project names here.
Yeah.
Project names
things
here.
that aren't your children.
So first of all, wanted to give a big old thank you for saying that you've been listening to Flat Sound since the Tumblr days and how much of an impact that it's had on your life. I do appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a long time. Tumblr days is old.
Tumblr days come and gone, baby. And I'm really glad that you think that Flat Sound and Wishing are gorgeous names because I would. I'm in full agreement with you that Wishing is a gorgeous name.
Yeah, you're like, I half agree with you.
Wishing
fully.
is a fantastic project name.
Wishing's a beautiful name.
Flat Sound is fucking stupid. Flat Sound is a bad name, in my humble opinion.
It
just existed too long.
You've told me this for a lot of times. You're like, I don't. It's bad, but it's just the name of it now.
Yeah, Flat Sound sucks.
So there you go. Yeah,
Wishing is great. Wishing is a real word, and it's one little thing.
I can't wait for someone to just clip this bit of audio of you being like, "Yeah, Flat Sound sucks. It does."
What can I say other than I've thought it for years and I'm saying it out loud? Flat Sound sucks. I'm giving them the little bits to clip.
Yeah.
No, as a name, I think it's garbage. It's not garbage. It's not anywhere. I'm not embarrassed by it, but I'm not like, oh, that's so cool, like I am with Wishing. Wishing, I think, is like a gorgeous, gorgeous name. And I don't mind Flat Sound too much, but like, I feel stuck with the name Flat Sound for sure. And obviously I am. I've been doing it for so long, and it's my everything. It's my website. It's the things that I do. And I do like it. And I do like that any name doesn't really matter. You say a word or a thing of words for so long, it just becomes that name. You don't think about what it means. You don't think, it just rolls off your tongue, flat sound. And I think it rolls off the tongue well, you know?
Yeah.
It is one of those things where it's like you meet someone new and they're, oh, what do you do? And you have to explain to them, oh, it's, okay, so it's flat sound. It's one word. And it's, God, the name sucks. It's so fucking bad.
You're thinking about it again.
Fuck, you're going to make me think. The name is god-awful. Yeah, it's flat sound. It's one word. And then that's really it. Yeah, so it's just flat sound. Well, one word, flat sound.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, why is that? And you're like, don't worry about why that is.
It's sort of, again, so I was 16 and I, and then like, I guess I think of like the, how it was stylized back in the MySpace days. And if, you know, for the people that don't remember, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. I originally stylized flat sound exactly like this. Capital F, capital S, still one word and with a period at the end. So even in a sentence, it would be flat sound, period, but flat sound, two different, dude, it's so fucking bad.
That's it's stylized like that makes me hate it.
It's some cringy shit, dude. It's really bad. So then I was kind of stuck with it after that point. Once, you know, after about a year or so of that, I was like, what in the fuck is this shit?
You're like, what am I thinking?
I was like 16, you know? So I was like, what the fuck is this? But I've already written like songs like I exist, you know? So it's like I can't just dead the project. Like, so I was like, okay, so now it's just written like this, all lowercase, you know? And now I don't mind it if there's an uppercase F. Most people that review it or it on Spotify and stuff like that, I'm very used to seeing it.
Yeah.
But I don't really like the name that much.
Yeah, but it is just the name of the thing. And I do just think that that's the case for like a lot of bands that you listen to. It's like, you know, it's just the name of a band. You don't think about what it means necessarily.
Right.
It's just like the word just starts to mean that band or that project, you know?
Right.
But you like Wishing as a name, though.
I love Wishing as a name.
So how did you come up with that?
Christian and I, when we were starting Wishing, we knew we wanted a name that was kind of like that, and we played with the idea. Okay, you know, it's either obscurely long or very short. It's either this or it's that, because that's what you know, like that's the effect I want on it. And I want it to be like beautiful. I want it to be very, very pretty. And Wishing was just one of the names in the long list that we were considering when we were writing our first full length.
Yeah.
And we're working on songs, we're sending them back and forth, you know, we're listening to the mixes, and the name got kind of like washed away with the other names for a long time. And we were deciding between a handful at the end of it. And eventually I just kind of looked at the list and I go, wait, Wishing is available? And Christian was like, yeah. And I was like, we can have it. No one on Spotify is Wishing. The real word,
the actual word, beautiful word, yeah,
not anything. Wishing.bandcamp.com is taken, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm actually sitting on the URL right now," and I'm like, "Well, it has to be that. That's the most beautiful." Why didn't I realize that immediately? And then now each time I hear it, I'm like, "It's gorgeous."
Yeah, it's good, yeah. But it just dawned on you then. You were like, "It's that one. It has to be that one."
It's one of those things where it's really like. That's not taken in this current year. That's not fucking taken. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, I have to do that. You know, like, it doesn't sound like it's too, like, trend hopping. It doesn't sound, because, you know, like, you know how especially during the MySpace days, there was, like, a lot of bands had a very similar name. And that's just how a lot of, like, internet or indie music worked.
Yeah.
It was a lot of bands would be called like this. And now a lot of bands would be called like this. So now most of them will die off, and you just have like one or two bands from that era that are like, we're called this. Wishing doesn't sound like that at all to me. It sounds very just like, no, I'm gonna rock with this forever. I like this name, and it's a real word, and that makes it feel very, very rare. Because this person was saying like, all the names are taken. You know, like we're living in the age of the internet.
Yeah,
so all the names are taken, and it's true. It's so easy for someone to just claim a Bandcamp. Or to claim something like that. And
just squat on it.
So many of them are taken with just like one song on there. You go, fuck, I wanted to do that project and make it so much more than that.
Yeah. And you're like, well, I could overtake them, but like I wouldn't have the URLs.
Right.
I really want the URLs to match. Yeah.
So I consider us getting very, very lucky with Wishing.
Yeah. Okay, my next question is, how do you like, at this moment in time, it's been over a year, the name of our podcast?
I love it.
I still love the name of our podcast too.
Yeah, we workshopped the name for a lot. Like we had like a full like whiteboard and everything, being like, we wanted to say this and we wanted to mean this. So maybe this and maybe that. And it took me a little while to be like, oh yeah, is it all the space in between? But now it just rolls off my tongue. Yeah, it's all the space in between. And
yeah, because we said it wrong a few times in like early episodes.
Yeah.
We were like, all the spaces in between.
Right.
Like, not quite. Yeah.
Yeah, because we thought of the name and we're just like, okay, that was like the last step. We got to like purchase the domain and record the episodes, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Start doing it.
Yeah, I still like the name of the podcast a lot.
I like it a lot too. And like, yeah, so that's the only real time that I've like sat down and like, we almost did like a mind map for it. You know, we were like, it's got to feel like this kind of thing.
I think we did really well.
Had a lot of, just different words around, and we just kind of scrambled them into different orders and stuff, and then we were just like, this one feels right, I think. Yeah it sounds like a podcast, and even if you were to just take it like take it kind of at face value and say, okay, all you need to know about the podcast is it's two people in a long distance relationship, they're very far from one another, and they cover this range of topics from this to this. Instantly, God, it is perfect now that you say.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a gorgeous, like, that's what a perfect name for a podcast. So yeah, I
love it.
I personally love it still, and I think I will continue to love it.
Yeah. Okay, so is that our advice for this person?
We didn't give advice. We didn't do anything.
We're just like, well, it's gotta feel right, and they're like, thanks, assholes.
Yeah, thanks. I tried that. And I keep regretting the name. So, no, my actual advice would be wait till something comes to you or workshop something and then have a few things to pick from. And while you have like 4 or 5 things picked, you know, like Teenage Dumpster, I think it kind of sucks. I don't like it personally. I think it's a little bit too edgy, you know. And I could see that one being, you know, they're probably pretty young. And I could definitely see that being a thing when I'm younger. And then once I hit like 25, 26, I'm like, I can't believe I'm still doing this. Like, that's kind of
right.
lame.
I'm not a teenage anymore. And the word dumpster's kind of fallen out of common circulation.
Right. It's just kind of lame now. Pick a few that, like, what are the qualities that you want them to have? What do you want the name to feel like? Do you want it to be a little bit funny? Do you want it to be a little bit clever? Do you want it to be, and you know, look at these other artists that you like that you're kind of in a similar genre. You're like, oh, they kind of feel like this, and that's why I like their name. Attribute those same qualities to what you're trying to think of. And my actual advice is to pick like 4 or 5 of them, or just a few of them, and start to record an album, a song, an EP, something like that, but start to work on it while you have these names in your head. And I think the one that is right will kind of step forward.
Yeah. It will just, appear to you.
Right.
You'd be like, oh, this one, of course.
Yeah, because we were already recording Wishing before we knew it was called Wishing, but it was just one of the names on the list. And after listening to the album and all the songs we were recording for it, and then seeing that name, I go, oh, it's you. It's this one. It's definitely this one. Wishing. Holy shit.
Here it is.
It's so good. So maybe that will help kind of squeeze out a name from them.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we had to do it the other way around for the podcast because we were like, well, we have to say the name of it when we record the first episode.
The very first,
Yeah, but we already had planned out, like, what kind of things we were going to talk about and the vibe it was going to have and everything like that.
Right.
And we can all agree it's strong vibes. We're vibing out all day over here.
We are vibing, and also we can agree that the podcast is exactly what we thought it was going to be. We didn't have to change our podcast description after the first 15 episodes or something. We didn't have to. We didn't start off as a podcast that said, "Yeah, we're going to mostly talk about like I don't know, just like art and like things like that. Maybe we'll get to like one question if we have a person writing in, and it'll be like an art question." And we devolved since then.
We devolved into a horrible advice show. I love the current iteration of our podcast though.
Yeah, I love it.
And I still love the name. So
I love the name.
Yeah.
But if you would like to rename it Teenage Dumpster.
Oh,
I hear
that's
it's taken.
available now?
I hear it's taken.
Okay, good. What? Wait, how far are we into the episode?
We are 40 minutes, around the 40-minute mark.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
Okay.
You want to rush to the last one?
Yeah. Let's go.
Oh, is it me? It's me, isn't it?
Yes.
Chop, chop, Mitch.
Come on, get with it.
This. And I'd like to point out that this email is written in the faintest gray font I've ever seen.
Oh, God. Why did you do
this to me?
Is this a joke?
This is
It's written so light on a white background.
Such a light font color that you chose. So it's very light font, but with my dyslexic font enabled, and then the text really big. And I think it almost helps that it's in this font, but we'll see.
It worked.
Maybe this is
the
this is the life hack I was looking for.
Yeah, finally.
For my dyslexia. Anyway, it's called an existential pickle. And it goes like this. Dear Mitch and Billy, what's up, Buttercups? I've been listening to the podcast since day one, and I look forward to it all week. Congrats on 1 year. I've been a Flat Sound fan since just before Did Everything Feel Beautiful, which slaps, by the way, and Flat Sound helped me through some rough times and helped me pursue the therapy and help that I needed, so thank you. I have a pickle that is unfortunately neither shit nor piss related. Nevertheless, y'all might be interested, and I'd appreciate some advice. I'm a 19-year-old vegetarian bartender / university dropout from Ireland. Well, there's a lot going on there. I've been struggling to find direction and settled on the only logical career path. To quit my job, move to a vineyard in South France, and work without pay in exchange for free lodging and food. I know that sounds crazy, but I feel like this is the only time in my life where something like that will be possible without bills and responsibility getting in the way. There's a website called Workaway that my therapist recommended that puts people looking for workers in contact with people willing to do the work for lodgement and food, not sponsored. Most listings are for a few weeks or months at a time, so it wouldn't be a huge commitment. I can't tell if this is actually a great opportunity to see the world outside of my little city of, you told me this was Galway? Galway. In Ireland?
Yes.
Cool. Galway, Ireland. I can't tell if this is actually a great opportunity to see the world outside of my little city of Galway, or if I'm just running away from my problems. What do you guys think of such a drastic move? I've never left the country aside from holidays with my family, but I feel like if I stay here, I'll explode. I don't want to live in this city, die in this city, and for that to be it. Do you think relying on strangers in a foreign country without any real idea what I'm doing is a good idea? Should I wait till I'm older or just take the jump? I feel like I could ruminate on this decision forever without actually doing anything unless I jump in and make it happen. I think you're both wonderful artists and I'd love any input. I genuinely admire the beauty and honesty of the work that both of you create, so thank you. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Yours in admiration, this person's name. P.S. I included an edgy little poem I wrote that I thought you might like. And the poem goes like this. The call of the ocean I can't ignore. Its whispers sneak through the cracks in the wall. The call so gentle. And often I lay, entranced by that siren song. But tonight I will not acknowledge. I will ignore. Because a false lover's tongue has held me still before. And I have learned that the cold depths burn more than any sun. Jumbled thoughts like rent flesh, bare without form. They break like rusted armor, and that sweet voice lurks on the shore of my mind. It calls me deeper onto myself. It calls me deeper. I used to fear drowning. I'd wake up in a pool of sweat. Now I fear how much I want to sink.
Good.
Very good.
Yeah, very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, like 100% unironically, like we were, we read our emails kind of quickly sometimes, and we were like, oh, and then there's a poem at the end, and we kind of started reading it, like we got through the first 2 lines.
We clowned on you for including a poem at the end because we're just like, okay, look at Mr. Poet over here. I don't want to read a fucking poem. It's a edgy poem.
Oh, a poem.
Oh, look, yeah, exactly. That was the tone we had to you, dear writer.
A real Mrs. Trunchbull.
We were... Yeah, we're okay. I'm not in the mood to read about the call of the ocean. Okay, so let me just the call of the ocean. I can't ignore its whispers sneak through the cracks in the wall. The call so gentle, and right then I stopped and I go, it's actually kind of beautiful.
This is actually hang on.
Hold on, let's scrub this.
Let me reread this again in a serious
voice.
Yeah,
without such a patronizing tone.
Yeah.
And yep, that was one of the best poems I've read in months. So
thank you for including it.
Thank you for sharing it with me, and yes. I guess you have a beautiful mind. So think about that.
Yeah, I guess I could imagine you looking out at the Galway coast up on like, the rough peaks of the Grey Sea.
Ooh, and yeah, it's all gloomy, but the hill he sits on is just a deep green.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just he longs to be somewhere else.
Oh man.
But maybe this is where he should be because it just matches the fucking poem.
It matches
so
the
well.
poem so well. I actually kind of want you to live and die there.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I liked how they phrased that bit of the question. They're just like, I don't want to live in this city, die in this city, and for that to be it. And it's like, fuck.
Maybe if that was it, that would be like beautiful. Maybe that's all you need is that city in this poem. Maybe all we need are you and I and now. And tonight.
Oh my God.
This is making me feel youthful.
He's in love.
We don't need France to feel the way that we feel. We don't need a vineyard in South France. We just need tonight, now, in this poem, in this field.
Oh my God, I'm feeling it.
A genuinely beautiful poem, though.
Yes, thank you very much.
And again, we clowned on you in our private lives. We were just like, poem, Jesus Christ. Okay, let's read through this poem. And it's so good. It really is so good.
Fuck. It's kind of messing with my emotions, actually.
So we don't have that much time, but we also have some very straightforward advice for this person, so it matches up pretty well.
Yeah.
Do you want to jump into it? Do you want to break it to them, or should I?
You break it to them first.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing that you're thinking about doing is super common. And I've known many people that have done this. I know several people that are doing it now. And also Billy has done it in the past. It's how we met.
Yeah, so that is how we met, through this like exact scheme as well, Workaway. That's why I was in America way back when.
And you actually used Workaway, the thing that they're talking about.
Yeah, that same website.
Yeah, that's what a whole ton of people are using. I'm pretty sure that's what Melanie is using right now. She's from Canada and working here currently. She works at a hotel and is staying there. It's
also what someone else I met at a party out there was using. Yeah, but yeah, it's a super common thing, and also I would say perfect age to do it. You should do it now. You should. There's no reason that you should wait until you're older to do a workaway. Most people doing workaways are like in their 20s anyway. Right. I went when I was 20. When I was 20.
20. Yeah. This person's 19. They're the perfect age.
Yeah, and I mean you're only. I mean, I say you're not going far because you're going from Ireland to France. It's not far distance wise. Obviously, is they speak a different language and stuff, so it'd probably be helpful if you could speak that language a little bit, maybe. But no, you should do it. If you've not in school right now because you've dropped out and you're a bartender right now, you can pick up another bartending job. Probably it's not like something that you'll never be able to go back to, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You should definitely do it. Of course, go do it. Get on the website right now.
Yeah. If you're waiting on someone other than yourself to tell you that this is a good idea and that you should do it, we are that someone. And we're letting you know that we think that it's a good idea and that you should do it because Billy has done it personally through Workaway. Again, not sponsored, though if they're listening.
Though if they've got a budget.
Yeah, if they do have an advertisement budget, we do have someone who's used your thing. Yeah, that's the website that you used.
Yeah.
And
I mean, granted, I was not on a vineyard in the south of France. I was on an avocado farm in California.
Yeah.
But
so
what's the difference?
Right.
Grapes, avocados, same shit. They're both green.
Yeah, we're both just gonna mash them on toast and munch away at them.
Yeah, but no, it's a really good excuse to travel, and a way that a lot of my friends who do not otherwise have like the funds or means to travel have done it.
Yes.
So that it's really good. You should do it. That's our thing.
Yes.
It's not you might not know anyone who's done it in Galway in your social circle. So to you it's like, oh, it's like this weird thing that I found, but like thousands of people are doing it all the time.
We know
and you should
tons
just go
of people that have done it personally. And yeah, it's a very, very common thing.
And all of them have had good experiences from what I've heard. Yeah.
I do hear it's kind of a lot of work, though. Like they'll actually make you work for your lodge.
They do actually make you work very hard. Yeah. I was covered in bruises and so sore, but it's manual labor.
Yeah, that's part of the experience. You trade your manual labor for it's fucked up, actually, now that I think about it. working these little 19, 20-year-olds, working them to the bone, and
They're in their prime.
just for the privilege to get to sleep at night. Hey, if you're extra good, you get to rest after you work. If you do this favor, which is manual labor for me, you get to rest in between the working.
Yeah, and then you get to like replenish yourself so that you can like do more work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
you're strong for work again.
Yeah. You're a horse with thumbs to me.
Don't start talking about horses again. We can't come full circle and start and end with horses.
I just miss him so much.
Oh god, I just can't stop thinking about him.
He had the most perfect thumbs.
That's why you wanted to catch this horse. It was a weird glitch where it had thumbs.
That's why the game crashed and I didn't get it. It's because they're like, yeah, the textures got all fucked up.
It wasn't meant to be in there. But yeah, do it. Escape Galway for a little bit. Galway's still going to be there when you get back. I'm assuming it's not going to fall into the sea anytime soon.
Though it might.
It might, yeah. Global warming.
Could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am telling you that you need to do it. You are a beautiful writer also. And I hope that you keep this up. Don't just write this off as an edgy little poem because it's what made me, because we get a lot of edgy little stuffs in our email. And we thought, okay, well, this is just going to be another thing to skip. It is genuinely a beautiful poem, and I really loved it a lot. And someone with a beautiful little mind like yours, I think you need to go and experience a vineyard in the south of France. And you need to go have those life experiences. Maybe it'll just inspire you to write more poetry.
Yeah, that would be the best outcome. So that is a last question for this episode.
That's it.
And we simply have to wrap up.
We must.
Because I simply have to go to sleep.
Oh god, I wish I could nap. I gotta mix this episode. I gotta post it.
Yeah, sucks for you.
It does suck for me. It does. Yeah, I'm glad we're talking about it. It does suck to do this.
It is hard.
It sucks when I have to do this. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing. Okay, I guess I don't like it is what I was gonna say.
Oh,
yeah,
that's what you're getting at.
Yeah, I don't like doing it, and I wish I could like not have to do that.
Yeah, but I've kind of dug myself into a hole now where I've got to do it like, oh fuck, every week.
Yeah, that's the worst part is that I don't like doing it at all, but I have to do it on a schedule.
Oh my god, I've created a schedule that I have to stick to.
Right. So it's very anti everything I'm about, which is sticking to a schedule, being consistent as something, and then it's not fun or cool, and it's not rewarding emotionally and especially financially.
Oh, especially that. Yeah. That said, you could, dear listener, make it a little more emotionally rewarding for us, perhaps, if you would be so kind as to tell your friends that our podcast exists, perhaps.
Please do.
Yeah, because we don't, but fuck knows we don't really advertise.
We don't really talk about our podcast.
No, we don't very much, but you are certainly talking about it, and that is very, very good, and like the best thing for the podcast growth, because like a recommendation from a friend is a lot better than us just being like, new ep up, everyone. So please keep on doing that. Keep on rating and reviewing us on iTunes. You can follow us on Spotify. And you can, as always, get all our links and all of our episodes on our website, which is
allthespaceinbetween.com. And if you have a question that you would like us to answer on the show, if you are stuck in a conundrum and or a strange little pickle that you would like us to go over in our private time and kind of mock you for it before we realize that you're actually a beautiful person, a multi-layered kind of a person.
Multifaceted.
Yeah. And then we feel bad about it after. You can send us an email that we very well might read on the show, and our email is allthespaceinbetween@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah, it's been great. Also, I just wanted to say, as much as I was like, this is not fun, or I don't like doing it, it's a total lie. I've mentioned in the past, I love mixing audio. I love doing all this stuff so much that I'm even thinking about starting another podcast that I'm just like, should I do like a vintage mic podcast? And then I could talk about like all this other stuff, and I can blah, blah, blah. I actually do love doing this. And sometimes it'll just hit me through the week being like, I've had a podcast for a year now. We're on episode whatever now. And it's consistently and it's weekly and we do it all the time. So much that it's just a part of my weekly routine now. Sundays are podcast days. And then that'll be it. And I love doing it so much
that I do it for free.
that I do it for free, of course, and I enjoy doing it for free because we don't have any sponsors. Which is not to say we couldn't get any sponsors. We could get some that wouldn't pay enough for us to want to talk about them.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at now. We're making that decision, but we love doing that. And it'll just hit me through the week. Dang, I have a podcast that people consistently listen to. You know how rare that is?
It's so sick. It's so lucky.
I feel so privileged because when you and I look up like, how do we make our podcast grow? And we look up like tips or something, or we go to the podcasting subreddit, which is it's
desolate wasteland of a place.
Yeah, it's a place.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of people being like, well, I've been podcasting for 6.5 years and we've averaged about 3 listeners per episode and I really don't know what to do. And I was like, whoa, you've been doing it to no one for so long. And I just feel very, very lucky that we're doing it to some people that are so cool and to speak our language and to talk about pickles and jacking in and all of our stupid inside jokes.
I truly love getting emails of people just like talking like this secret podcast language
I love
we
it.
created.
I love it. I love the references.
I like it a lot.
And I love to be a part of this thing, and it makes me feel like I'm a part of something bigger.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel very
nice.
nice.
The more we do it and the bigger our back catalog gets, the just prouder I am to do it all the time.
As that number increases per
just gets cooler
episode,
to me.
I'm just like, this is so sick. I love doing it so much. So again, I guess I'm just saying thank you for listening.
An actual sincere thank you for listening.
No jokes. Thank you for listening to the podcast. We do love doing it. And new episodes every week. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.